Hi, welcome to Universal Interiors. I'm Les Engelstead, and I am outside on this beautiful summer day. That here in Minnesota, you know what? We really have had an amazing amount of sunshine this summer. And I'm just hoping, if this is January when you're watching it, that you are appreciating January. Because guess what? We can't move things back or forward. We just have to try to stay in the day. Today, I'm definitely enjoying the sunshine. It's a beautiful area that we call home for all of us Lakers. And I know oftentimes I have kind of been maybe told I have kind of a Pollyanna look to life. And if all those that are young might not know, even those that are old might not know, but there was a Disney show called Pollyanna, one of my very favorites. She loves to play the glad game, and she got all her neighborhood and people to play the glad game. And it really irritated a lot of people, and I know that I irritate a lot of people because they're like, seriously, Leslie, it's not that good of a day. And I have my sad days, certainly, I'll be first to admit, but I sure don't like it when I stay stuck in those sad days, because there's so many reasons that we have to be glad. And it's not necessarily a glad game, like I mentioned Pollyanna plays, but most of life is kind of a game. I think that we have to understand that none of us is given the same board game. We're all given different pieces to move, or maybe pieces get moved on us. That's something that we have to think about. What do we get to do with what's dealt us? Well, I hope and I do pray that people can go to gratitude and to go to a place of thanks, because each and every day there's reasons for that. It's pretty much the only thing I read that you can control, your attitude. You can certainly give way and let those kids come in the door, or that husband come in the door, or your daughter calling, or your boss yelling. Those things can take away that attitude of gratitude pretty fast, because they don't get you. They take advantage of you. They don't know what you've done for them. I mean, there's so many reasons that we can come up with to not feel grateful. Instead, we just feel like nobody's really understood us. Nobody's given the time of, boy, I appreciate all you do. I'm very guilty of that. Family, friends. Many times, my husband and I often say to ourselves, we're the king and queen of good intentions. Something nice is done to us. Boy, we're going to turn around and make sure maybe they get a thank you note or a call or a gift. We think about it, we might not do it. But it's funny, those that love me still keep loving me. It's not the gift they needed to get. And that's kind of what I think so oftentimes in our world is we're kind of missing out on gifts that are given to us or that are denied us. They shouldn't run our lives, because that's all going to be taken away from us one day. We absolutely don't know what's going to come around the corner. But we do know that we are given attitude, and what we bank in there, what we put in there, what we deposit in there is always going to be where that heart spills out. If you have gratitude, if you at least can stop and find a reason before you get out of bed, I guarantee you're going to have that much better of a day than if you just charged out of bed. It's just a guarantee. That's it. There is an old devotional, and I often call it's called God Calling. And this little book is something I know I've referred to before. Well, when I get to do this show, I get so excited because I've got, maybe 30 things that I want to share. I mean, it just comes at me and in me, and I'm just excited to whatever is just laid on my heart. Well, this morning, walking by the old book I don't pick up very often, I did. And there it is. Today, the recording is the same date that I'm going to be doing this little talk. And it was gratitude. So how fun was that? So this is how it reads. Give me the gift of a brave and thankful heart. Man proves his greatness by his power to see causes for thankfulness in his life. See, when life seems hard and troubles crowd you out, very definitely look then for causes for thankfulness. There's a sacrifice. It's called the offering of thanksgiving. It is indeed a sweet incense going up to me through the busy day. Seek diligently for the something to be glad about and thankful about in every happening, and soon there'll be no search that will be required. For the causes of joy and gratitude will then spring out to greet those loving hearts. So this book was written in the 30s, and how applicable, I think, but also how sad, because I'm scared that things like these treasures just get pushed aside because we Google up something, oh, give me reasons to be happy. You might get some sayings, you might get some good books, you might get an encouraging story, all which is great. But inside of you is where that lies. And I pray that there is some places in you that you have allowed God to speak to you. If nothing else, please just get out in this amazing countryside. It just doesn't happen. Creation, it just doesn't happen. You challenge it. Go ahead, challenge me on it. What has started from nothing? Well, I believe we have a creator, and he's crazy about us. He is so happy that he made you. He doesn't want anybody to ever be sad. And his word tells us he doesn't even want people to perish in loss. He wants them to come to him and come to know him. And in that understanding, you would then embrace. Recently there's been, I'm guessing most of you, because it's life. The hard things fall, what are we gonna do? And now you probably think, okay, Leslie, you speak about this a lot. Well, maybe it's just because it's around me, I think. I listen to stories, or I listen to those things that hit the news. Not that much, okay? Great. I'm not a big news guy, but I try to capture some of the good things, but most of them are kind of sad. So again, comes at me. Those that are to be grateful for, those that we should be praying for. And then just stop a second and journal up or take a note and find that reason to put a smile on your face. Again, I do know that this opportunity that I'm given, I get to talk about what's laid in my heart. And so this subject does come up. But I talk with you all too, and I'm so grateful, sincerely, how many times you say it encourages you. Well, that simply is God's doing, because I'm just a normal human being with given a lot of different things in life. And I just want so much for people to understand what it means to be grateful in their whole being. To be an answer to prayer, I heard a great story just this morning. You don't know why you're there. You might be in a pouty place. You might be going, really? I don't want this. But somebody else needs you there. So then you have to sit back and go, oh, well, look at that. I'm an answer to a prayer. Grateful place, right? You can find so many reasons. You can be in the grocery store and you see that person struggling to get that box off the top shelf, and you can help them. Guess what? Small, really, but you help them get that box off the top shelf, and look at that smile come on them. They might have been the only interaction they've had with anybody the whole day. You just never know. That's why a place of gratefulness is so happy. Happy, that's what I was going to say. It's so happening. It's so important to happy. It is so important. There's a saying recently, and I bet I've even shared it. It is something as simple as this. If you learn how to forgive yourselves, it's not just knowing, it's just learn how to forgive yourself. It's a big one. Really it is. And then forgive others. Forgive all those others, because they probably have forgotten about you. They're too concerned about their own selves. And to have a heart full of thanks or gratefulness or gratitude. Keys: forgive yourself, forgive others, have a heart full of thanks. You will not need to seek hard after happiness, for it will find you. I love that saying. It's an old one, but it's a goodie. So I hope you deposit that in your little thinkers today. For those of you that have encouraged me along the way, I'm so grateful. And for those of you that scratch your head and think, is there anything else she can talk about? Perhaps. But this is important, and I hope you get it. And I hope you have an amazingly grateful, thankful day. Turn around and say thanks. It's the best medicine. Go make it a great day. Thanks.